All right. Welcome, folks. Good morning and a good Erev Yom Tov. Preparing for Sukkot. So we continue with the Maimer, Sukkos Teshvu, and a Sukkah, which is a makif, an encompassing, transcendent, divine light, energy, godliness that encompasses the individual. It's the first thing that we make before the holiday. It's the first thing that we do of the holiday is dwell in it. And the idea is to dwell, which dwell, as we explained, is to take something and internalize it. Let me dwell on that, which means let me internalize that, right? So that's the spiritual aspect. So we have that in Sukkot. We have that also the last days of Shmini Atzeres Simchas Torah is the same idea. Shmini is the eighth. The eighth is beyond the cycle of seven, right? Meaning transcendent. Number eight is transcendent. By the way, if you put a number eight and you put it on its side, that's the Greek symbol for something that's eternal. Um, so, and yet at the same time, it's to be brought into on Shmini Atzeres. There's only one offering, as opposed to on Sukkot, there's over the 7 days 70 offerings for the 70 nations. But Shmini Atzeres is unique in that it's about the oneness of the Jewish people reaching, to bring that oneness into a internalize that transcendentness of God into the eternity of the Jewish people and the eternity of the Jewish people into to internalize that. We do that, by the way, through dancing. That's what Simchas Torah is, right? Okay. Now, with this, we can now understand that by day, we do the mitzvah of Daled Minim, of the four species. Right. Lulav, so the lulav, each leaf is of two. As a matter of fact, if it's split on top, the middle one, if it's split more than half, it's not kosher. Why? Because this shows on unity. Okay. So you have the unity of the leaf. Then you have the hadassim. It's hard to see, but kosher hadas, there's three leaves. They have to come out from the same circle, same circumference rather. Right? If they're not, one's higher, one's lower, not the same circumference, not kosher. It's got to be something like 8 inches or so of it. Needs to be that way. Again, showing on a unity. Here the unity is in the way they grow together. Here that they grow in the same circumference. Not one is higher, one is greater, one is lower. Right? These are arabes. They grow in bunches. Right? This Each one grows separately, likewise, but these are obviously grown bunches. Again, showing a unity. Where the real unity is expressed is in the esrog, because the esrog interesting. Because the esrog grows through all seasons, 4 seasons, right? Very few, or if any, I don't know if any other kind of fruit or growth grows in all seasons, meaning heat and cold. Now, it's got to be, proper climate. And when we say all 4 seasons, here in Montreal, then it's not going to grow in the winter, obviously. But in Israel, in wintry months or in other places, it does grow. Um, it does grow. And not only that, it takes 3 years for it to really grow. So it goes 3, which is a concept of chazaka. Chazaka means permanence. So here, it's a true unity because heat and cold are complete opposites, and yet it doesn't just survive the heat or survive the cold. It actually thrives upon it, meaning it grows from it. That shows it even more of a concept of unity, right? As opposed to, the other 3 types, they show of a unity, right? That again, the lulav, the branch of the lulav and its leaves grow two together. Again, if it splits, you know, they could deem it unkosher. The hadassim on the same circumference. All right, so that shows literally of a unity that they're bound together. The unity of the hadassim is that, united, one isn't greater than another. That's a concept of unity. Usually when you walk into a room, you see other people, you either think yourself, it can think of yourself if you're feeling a little insecure, you're going to think about, oh, what's that person thinking of me? Meaning, are they thinking that I'm less than them? Or if you're full of yourself, right, then, oh, they're thinking a lot of me, right? That's obviously not unity. Unity is that you're on the same circumference, right? We're united. We're one. And likewise, the Arabes, right? They grow in bunches, right? We all come from the same, our soul came from the same place. We're all a bunch of souls, that grow from the same source of God Almighty, all Jewish souls, right? Malchus and Atzilus. Which is, and then the real idea of unity, or the deeper even, is that you're able to thrive from extreme circumstance or extreme people in your life. Not merely you're able to um, to I'm sorry. My apologies. My mother's seen me do that to my eyes. She'd be very upset. Don't tell her. Um, to be able to um, thrive, we would like if you have someone who's like negative in your life. So people say just cut them out. Yeah, but what if it's your child? What if it? What if it's a parent? What if it's your spouse? So they're negative. So what do? You cut them out? Hopefully not. So how do you do that? How do you deal with them? So imagine, that you would probably at best be able to, be able to get through it. Or let's say a negative experience. So real unity is you don't get through it, but you grow from it. Real negative person in your life is that you're able to grow from that negative person. Ooh, how's that possible now? So this is where what it means to take something and to internalize. If you the transcendence of God, the transcendence of God, right, which is the idea of sukkah, to be able to internalize it. So that's why we do the mitzvah of the four species in the sukkah, because we want to take the transcendence and we actually shake it in 6 directions. Facing east, we first go to the right, which is south. Then we go to the left. So we go shake it, bring it to the heart. Right? Where is something truly internalized is in your heart. But how do you get to your heart? So you go to the right. The way Chabad does it is facing east. And then we go to the right corner. So it's like southeast, right? And then we bring it to the heart. We do it 3 times. Shake it when we bring out there, the lulav and esrog, they're being held together, right? Bring it to the heart. Then we go to northeast, bring it to the heart. Right. The lulav with its shedra, which is its backbone facing you, and the esrog in your left hand. Right. Then you go front, bring it to your heart. You go up. This is how we do up, right? Then down, we don't go like this. We don't point it down, but we just bring the bottom down and lay to your heart. Down, down. And then the back, we don't go like this. Some people there. That's klipa. This is all holy. That's throwing over your back. That's the metaphor for klipa, for negativity, right? Negative force. You don't want to someone you don't care for. You want to give them. You have to give them a gift. Right? That's a metaphor for klipa. So you don't look them in the eye and throw it over the back. No, you go like this. To the right side, to the like 45-degree angle. To the back, right? 3 times. Bring it to the heart. 6 directions. That's the way we do it. And you're bringing all four types and internalizing. True internalization, when you bring into the heart, how do you internalize something into your heart is through what's called das. Das means deep awareness, to connect. To connect. That's what das is. That's the term in Genesis, and says about Adam. Adam yada is Chava. Adam knew Eve, means they had intimate relations. And it's called, he knew her. He knew her deeply, intimately, right? So when you know something deeply and intimately, it feeds it into your heart. When you're very, very aware, right? It's very much like it's very visceral to you. Um, Unity here that we're talking about the idea that you could see something that's completely opposite to you, and yet you could still be connected with that which is opposite to you. Not merely surviving it, but even thriving through that which is opposite to you. A person who's completely opposite to you, a person who is completely, or situation that's a very challenging and difficult situation. So das is the connection between the awareness and to bring it into your heart and to grow from it and to be united in a way that it is something that you're growing from it. That's not an easy thing. That's easy to say, right? To be able to be soivel havchim, to what's the word? To be able to have opposites within you and to be able to live with opposites. So, like you could maybe really dislike what the person did, but really love them, right? That's two opposite feelings about the same person. Most people that can't do that, right? Most people can't do that because usually what a person does to you, you know, in that moment, you're hating the person. I don't mean like later you'll love it, you'll come, okay, you'll get over it and you'll love that person afterwards. That's not holding on to two opposites at the same time. Holding on to two opposites at the same time means at the same time that you could love this person and hate what they just, the way they're, hate that action. That takes a lot of maturity of the mind, of das, right? And to internalize, and because that das is internalization. Das is connection. That it's, real for you. It's not just an idea, but it's real for you. In other words, I'm explaining this, intellectually right now, the idea of it, but that's in Bina and understanding. So we can understand the idea just like the esrog is able to thrive in all extreme weather conditions. Again, extreme to an extreme, right? right? Montreal winter, it's not going to survive outdoors, obviously, but in the Mediterranean, it does, right? In Israel, it does. Um, and again, the message over here is that we can thrive from extreme circumstance, extreme people, even. And that takes a very wide bandwidth of making an idea, so making it real for you that it becomes internalized. See, the fact that I'm teaching the idea doesn't mean it's internalized. It means that you have at least the knowledge of, you have the idea of it. Internalized means that it becomes something that you is living with you in a visceral way in the mind, in the intellect, that it then feeds the heart. It brings it into the heart, that the heart, that you have an understanding heart of it, and that you can ultimately live with that, which is, again, not a simple thing, but an amazing Aveda. And folks, our next Chassidus class is going to be Thursday, because we have 2 days of Yom Tov. Welcome, Raquel. I don't know if this is the first time you're here. Welcome. Where are you from, Raquel? All right. Anyways, yeah, an amazing idea. And a beautiful idea to live with for the holiday. All right, we'll have Chumash Rashi. We'll see you soon, folks. And then Tanya, of course, and we'll continue.